Mr. and Mrs. Tick-Tock and the 6 little Tick-Tocks lived morning, noon, and night in a shop that sold nothing but clocks. There were daytime clocks, there were nighttime clocks, there were Sunday clocks. There were so many clocks you couldn't count them, and none of them told the same time at the same time. Every morning at 6 o'clock, Peter the Cuckoo Clock came out of his little red house where he lived all alone with his cuckoo. Rain or shine, day or night, Peter the Cuckoo Clock always said good morning like this. Every clock in the shop would wake up. The little toy clock would sing. The big clock would strike. The loud alarm clock would ring. Then they would tick-tock all together. This woke up Mr. Tick-Tock, who woke up Mrs. Tick-Tock, who woke up all the little Tick-Tocks, 6 of them, one at a time. The 8 Tick-Tocks marched one by one into the clock shop to start the Tick-Tock day. Sometimes they sold a clock or 2, sometimes they sold a clock or 3. But they never sold Peter the Cuckoo Clock because he was their favorite clock. They loved to listen to Peter say. The day went very fast with so many clocks ticking off the minutes. In no time at all, it was lunchtime, and then it was time for supper. The Tick-Tocks always invited the clocks to supper, but the clocks always said, "No, thank you, we haven't time for anything but time." And they would tick-tock, day in, day out. One Friday night, the Tick-Tock family was eating fish for supper when all of a sudden, Mr. Tick-Tock swallowed a fishbone. Oop! Mrs. Tick-Tock cried, "What'll we do?" The 6 little Tick-Tocks cried, "What'll we do?" The clocks in the clock shop cried, "What'll we do?" Only Peter the Cuckoo Clock didn't cry. Peter the Cuckoo Clock said, "Get a doctor, get a doctor." Mrs. Tick-Tock cried, "You're right, I'll go get a doctor." And off she went down Rockabye Street. There was Minnie, the tired trolley car, riding along and singing a song all at the same time. When Minnie, the tired trolley car, saw Mrs. Tick-Tock, she stopped riding. She stopped singing. Minnie said, "Hop aboard. Nice to see you going places." Mrs. Tick-Tock said, "Not so nice. Take me to the doctor." Minnie stepped back in surprise. Minnie, the tired trolley car, turned on her switch. She put on her steam. She stepped on her bell. And away they raced up Rockabye Street. The doctor wasn't in because he was out. The doctor's sign said, "We'll be back next month. Have gone fishing." Minnie said, "We better go fishing, too." And away she raced down Rockabye Street all the way back to the clock shop. The clock shop was full of people talking about Mr. Tick-Tock's fishbone. Mr. B. Green said, "Stand him on his head." Mrs. B. Green said, "Lay him on his back." The blue policeman said, "Tickle him on his funny bone." Every clock was talking, too. Mr. Tick-Tock stood on his head. Mr. Tick-Tock lay on his back. Mr. Tick-Tock tickled his funny bone. But the fishbone stayed right where it was, stuck in the middle of his throat. Minnie, the tired trolley car, came racing up the street. Minnie said, "Sirocco, Mirocco, what'll we do?" Peter the Cuckoo Clock cuckooed, "Get out your fishing pole. Get out your fishing pole." Minnie said, "My fishing pole, that's easy." Then Minnie took down her long black trolley pole from the trolley line over her head. She poked it through the window. She went fishing down Mr. Tick-Tock's throat. In no time at all, she had fished up the fishbone. Everybody whistled and cheered. Mr. and Mrs. Tick-Tock and the 6 little Tick-Tocks were so happy they gave a clock apiece to all the boys in the clock shop and a wristwatch apiece to all the girls. They gave Peter and his cuckoo clock to Minnie. Peter sang, but Minnie wouldn't think of taking Peter and his cuckoo. She took the fishbone instead to wear as a wishbone on her watch chain for a charm. This made all the clocks so happy that though it was 11 o'clock, they tick-tocked once for good measure and sang out 12 instead.